Bail was set today for a man arrested in Fargo after an hours-long standoff over the weekend that caused neighbors to shelter in place. SWAT officers arrested Frankie Moran after 5 hours of negotiations. He's charged with assault and preventing arrest. His bond was set at $25,000 and he was ordered to have no contact with the victim. Newly filed court documents say police were called to a home along Monte Carlo Drive Saturday night. A woman told police she and 2 other men were having dinner with Moran when an argument ensued and Moran struck both men in the head with a hammer. Documents say Moran refused to come out of the home. Officers eventually used a chemical irritant to take him into custody. In his first court appearance today, there on your screen, Moran said he would be representing himself and asked for a speedy trial.
I would appreciate it that we could be able to resolve this in a professional manner, without wasting anyone's time, taxpayers' time.
Moran is due back in court for a preliminary hearing on October 2nd.